The gas gauge had been blinking for 10 miles, an angry orange light screaming into the dark cab of my car. At 21, a junior in college, I was white, knuckling the steering wheel and praying to make it to the next exit. I'd been too stubborn to stop earlier, when there were decent stations. And now I was paying for it on a deserted stretch of highway. The station materialized through the darkness like a set from a true crime podcast. It was isolated and poorly lit, with two ancient pumps under a rust-eaten metal canopy. A single fluorescent tube flickered like a distress signal. Behind the dirty windows of the convenience store, faded lottery ads were plastered like ancient cave paintings. A dark pickup truck was parked near a dumpster at an odd angle, looking abandoned. I coasted in on fumes and pulled up to the pump closest to the exit, a primal instinct in my gut already doing flips. I swiped my card and started pumping, the numbers crawling upward at a glacial pace. That's when I saw them. Two men. One was tall and lanky, leaning against the ice machine in a threadbare Carhartt jacket, staring at me without pretense. The other was shorter, stockier, wearing a low, pulled baseball cap, and pretending to fiddle with his phone near the trash cans. Neither had a vehicle at the pumps. Neither was buying anything. They were just waiting. The pump clicked past 5 gallons. I did the mental math of survivals. How much gas did I actually need to get home, versus how long I had to stand there, exposed? The tall one flicked his cigarette and started walking toward me in a wide, casual arc, moving to position himself between my car and the exit. The shorter one pocketed his phone and approached from the opposite side, heading to the pump behind mine. My throat went dry. I watched their coordinated movement in my car's reflection. This wasn't a coincidence. The tall one stopped by the air pump, 15 feet from my bumper, rocking on his heels like he had all the time in the world. The shorter one was now behind me, pretending to read the instructions on a credit card reader for a car that didn't exist. I could hear his wet, raspy breathing over the hum of the pump. "Hey there," the tall one called out, his voice a dull knife cutting the silence. "You heading north or south?" He'd closed the distance to 10 feet. I could smell the stale smoke on his clothes. I didn't answer. My eyes locked on the pump. 9, 10, not very friendly, are you? He continued, a sinister edge beneath the casual tone. He took another step, and his hand moved inside his jacket pocket, not pulling anything out, just letting me know something was there. The pump clicked off at 12 gallons. I yanked the nozzle out, fumbled the gas cap on, my hands shaking. The tall one laughed, a low gravelly sound. "Where's the fire, sweetheart?" He was close enough to lunge. I finally met his eyes, pale blue, bloodshot, with pupils too dilated for the bright lights, and blurted the first lie that came to mind. "My boyfriend's waiting for me. He knows exactly where I am." His smile faltered for a split second. It was all the opening I needed. Instead of going for the driver's door, I yanked open the back passenger door and dove across the seats. The shorter one grabbed the door before I could shut it, his thick fingers wrapping around the frame. I kicked hard at his hand with my heel. He cursed and jerked back, and I slammed the door shut, hitting the locks. The tall one was already at my window, pounding on the glass, his face twisted into something ugly. "Open up. We just want to talk." I started the engine, threw it in drive before my seatbelt was on. The shorter one jumped in front of the car, arms spread wide. I laid on the horn and gunned it straight at him. He dove sideways at the last second, rolling across the concrete as I tore out of there, tires squealing. I didn't look back. I flew onto the highway, my speedometer climbing past 90, my whole body shaking. For 10 minutes, there was nothing in the rearview mirror but empty road. Then, High beams appeared, gaining fast. I pushed my old Corolla to 100, the whole car vibrating. An exit was coming up. One of those nothing exits that led to farm roads. I knew there was a 24-hour truck, stop a few miles past it. Safety in numbers. The headlights were closing in. I took the exit ramp at 70, my car sliding sideways before I regained control. The pickup shot past on the highway, its brake lights glowing red as they realized I'd turned off. The road was pitch black. My headlights cut a feeble path through the darkness. Then the truck stop's giant sign appeared like a beacon. I screeched into the lot, parked right under the security lights, and fell out of my car, my legs like jelly. Inside, it was a world of normalcy. Truckers drinking coffee, a family eating burritos. I ran to the counter, probably looking insane, and told the clerk to call the police. They never caught the men. The truck was found abandoned days later, reported stolen. The detective told me they'd been waiting at that station for 2 hours before I arrived. I was the fourth woman they'd targeted, but the only one who got away. I never drove that road alone again. And every time I stop for gas now, even in broad daylight, I check every corner of the lot before I even turn off the engine.